Caitlin Clark, let it be known, she does not like this Stephanie White offense, how these players in the WNBA don't even know where to move or how to move or where to cut, and that leads to a lot of her turnovers. And she also states how much she misses Lisa Bluder. And I think all of us Indiana Fever Caitlin Clark fans prefer if Lisa Bluder was the head coach of the Indiana.
It's clear from Caitlin Clark's response to Lexi Hullshot. She is observing from the sidelines as her teammate makes her first three-pointer to end her shooting drought. However, that was only the start of one of the Indiana Fever's most impressive displays this season. This team was expected to struggle without its star player and without any reliable point guards. Rather, they gave a masterclass in resiliency that was ripe with playoff ramifications. The Chicago Sky had no idea what had happened to them. To express your support for Lexi and the Fever, leave a comment below. Come on.
I mean, what's going on here? And I'm sorry, but if Stephanie White's supposed to be this all-world coach, you're not going to show up to a game against the Phoenix Mercury with DeWanna Bonner playing on the other side after what she did to the Indiana Fever franchise, and you show up there and somehow the team is lifeless? Sophie Cunningham coming back to Phoenix and the team is lifeless? That is the coach.
Caitlin Clark's absence since July 15th due to quad and groin ailments was already causing problems for the team. There is no estimated time of her return, but during that Phoenix game, things drastically worsened. During the first quarter, Sydney Coulson suffered an ACL tear in her left knee. It was visible to you in real time. Suddenly, her season was done.
Sums up why I can't stand Stephanie White as a basketball coach for Caitlin Clark. I don't think that Stephanie White is a bad coach. Don't get it twisted. She's not a bad coach at all. I just don't think she's the right coach for Caitlin Clark. So let's take a listen to this right here. This was on the podcast with Super 8.
But I think that's even been something like me and Steph have always talk about when we go and watch film, and even that New York game where I played really, really well. Obviously scored a lot of points. I think I had 9 assists or 10 assists that game.
She was a rebound and assist off a 32-point triple-double. And is the only reason her team's in.
But this is where everything started to go horribly wrong. During the fourth quarter of that same game, Ari McDonald suffered a fracture to her right foot. The same game, 2 point guards. Injuries that terminate the season for both of them. The point guard spot on the roster was totally vacant. Let's discuss the true implications of this. Without their floor general, no WNBA club wants to play a game. But also losing your backup. And that's basketball nightmare territory. The backup to the backup.
It's just going to be interesting to see her come back and see this team fully go full circle around their set leader. And I'm still banking on it being Caitlin Clark. Without Caitlin Clark, they had 19 in the one game and 16 in their previous game without CC even playing.
Coach Stephanie White had to make quick adjustments to the rotations. She discussed managing the offensive through a by committee manner. Coaches say that because we don't know what we're doing.
My precious Cece, she was upset. She didn't say nothing, no smiling, walked off, not looking at no cameras. I'm talking about, you can tell it's all on her face. She got it in her mind. But look, I need y'all to understand. That was so embarrassing and pathetic. And the teamwork was not there. But I remember Jordan had got hurt his second year. He didn't come back until playoffs. And that playoff series was legendary. He scored 63 points in one game, but he still lost.
Supporters began to wonder if this squad could survive actual hardship. The deadline had already passed, so the front office was unable to make any transactions at all. They had to make do with what they had. The Chicago Sky most likely believed they were catching Indiana at the ideal moment. Desperate, wounded, and lacking their biggest star. All of the Sky's games this season have ended in defeat to the Fever. This appeared to be their opportunity to finally get revenge. Here is something the Sky was unaware of about this Fever squad, though. Throughout the season, they have been creating something unique. There would be no more collapse stories. This was going to be a masterclass in pure grit and team basketball. Everything was set up for an unexpected person to take charge and make a huge difference.
The Stephanie White offense compared to what she was doing at Iowa when she took over the world. Let's take a look.
At the college, like, it was very similar. Like, all out attack, like, we're known to have like 5 shooters on the floor at all time. Like, we played with really good floor spacing, and at Iowa it was the same way. Like, 4 people were on the floor that could shoot at the same time. Then obviously we usually played with a true post, but they rarely missed too. Like Mon never missed. Like Hannah Stolke was tremendous when I was there too. And even our backup post players, like, I always think about like how Coach Bluder like ran practices and things. And like, I'm very fortunate looking back and like now going to like watch other colleges practices and things like that. Like, she really like was so intentional about like making sure everyone was on this.
For weeks, Lexi Hull had been mired in her own thoughts. As her confidence faltered, shot after shot clanked off the hoop. This was more than a few poor games. Hull was experiencing the most severe shooting slump of her career. In the 2 weeks prior to the Chicago game, she had a 2 for 25 shooting record. She hadn't made a three-pointer since August 1st against Dallas, according to her mother.
In over 10 years, and Caitlin Clark has something to do with that, man. They was 8-5 with Caitlin. At the end of the day, no matter how many games they win, they lost more games without Caitlin Clark playing. Like, so everybody argument that Caitlin Clark is the Achilles heel, Caitlin Clark is this and that, your argument is obsolete, bro. They will forever have that notion on there, that blemish on there. Now, if they would have won more games, lost less, then you might have had something.
Hull was having excruciating shooting difficulties. She was missing the easy-to-drain open appearance that she usually had. She used to take shots without second thought, but now you could see that she was hesitant. Doubt was replacing her natural shooting stroke. The pressure increased with each missed three-pointer. She was establishing a mental prison where instincts were subdued by overthinking.
Thea lost though, but at the end of the day, he fought, and you could tell that he missed being away from the game. So I can see my precious CC coming back doing her thing for the playoffs. I just want her to be 100% healthy at the end of the day. If Stephanie White gonna keep jeopardizing.
The Phoenix game demonstrated the severity of the situation. Hull had perhaps her poorest offensive performance of the season, going 1 for 11 from the field and 0 for 8 from three-point range for a total of 2 points. Following that game, her teammate Kelsey Mitchell had a heartfelt conversation with Hull. She assured Hull that she could rely on her to contribute to the table each evening.
Indiana Fever fans, so let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100 like I'm being frank. You hear me? So let me ask y'all again. Is Stephanie White a good coach? A great coach? I'm waiting. No, she not. Not even close. If anything, she puts a star in the offense. She's sucking the life out of the team, out of the franchise. And Kelly Krostoff, whatever her name is, Lynn Dunn, you hear me? They all need to go.
The moment that turned everything against Chicago then arrived. Caitlin Clark watched from the bench as Hull made her first three-point try. With that familiar turn, the ball slipped out of her grasp. Swishing through the net, it arched through the air. From the sidelines, Clark leaped with sheer delight. As if she had just made the shot herself, you could see her celebrating.
White, Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White remains fully confident in her team following Thursday's deflating loss. The veteran coach sent a clear message. It was a 35-point ass drubbing. It was deliverance and Ned Beatty. Anybody seen that? Squeal like a pig? Yeah. The Phoenix Mercury bleeped the shit out of the Indiana Fever.
The dam broke with that one shot. As Hull began looking for her next shooting opportunity, her confidence returned in spades. She made 4 of her 6 three-point attempts. However, the true tale is not reflected in the statistics narrative. In real time, you witnessed a player rediscover who she was. Once more, Hull was moving without the ball. She was playing freely and making the appropriate readings.
The post-game press conference, Caitlin Clark Stephanie White made sure to give out about Caitlin Clark not passing the ball to Dantas. Like, we've seen Damiris Dantas play. She can't shoot. Why would Caitlin Clark pass the ball on an all-time heater to Dantas?
This just this last game this year. I started the fourth quarter off with like 3 turnovers in a row or 2 turnovers in a row, and Steph yanked me, and she was like this is like a learning moment. Like you got to be able to like, yes, like maybe it could have been there, like maybe you could have thrown a little bit better of a pass, maybe they could have caught it, but like, do we need that in this moment?
Pulse Plus 22 rating demonstrated that her influence extended well beyond her ability to score. A season-high 17 points demonstrated that sometimes a single shot may make all the difference. Every make was applauded by her teammates. Aaliyah Boston used both hands to throw up the 3-point symbol. Hull was hugged by Sophie Cunningham. Chicago was unaware that they were going to see a total team breakdown. Throughout her WNBA career, Kelsey Mitchell has never been required to lead a whole offense, but in times of need, drastic measures are necessary. Mitchell established herself as an unadulterated scorer. Throughout her career, she averaged career highs and points but few assists. Putting the ball in the hoop was this player's life. You have to give up your own shot attempts to set up teammates when you play point guard. That contradicts every instinct Mitchell has cultivated throughout his 7 league seasons. Mitchell had occasionally started the offense with Aaliyah Boston and Sophie Cunningham during the season, according to coach Stephanie White, but managing the team full-time was an entirely different ballgame. The period of adjustment was evident in the first few possessions. In real time, Mitchell had to fully rewire her brain for basketball. She was battling her innate scoring tendencies, as you could see. She was accustomed to seeking out her own opportunity first. She now needed to look around the floor to see what would be best for her colleagues.